Have I got a good one for you? We've got some Ascension 6 Silent here going after another win. This will be my only character that is undefeated. So, yeah, we're hoping to keep that streak alive if we can. We're offered the bomb or prep time for one of two colorless cards. Not really thrilled with either, but I'll take prep time in case we get something like Ricochet or even Shivs. I'll be okay with it. Any multi attack is fine. Dagger Spray is cool. And yeah, this is going to be a good one. This is definitely a post commentary after we played the game. And I have an Ironclad run that should have been posted before this, but I was so excited about this one. I was like, no. We've got to do this one first. Now, I won't quite. Well, I wasn't going to spoil it, but I just realized I already made the thumbnail that spoils it for sure. So, yeah, it is a wild run where we've got some clonage and prepared. And prepared is one of those cards that, I mean, if I think about cards that I'm going to clone, that is not on the top of the list. That wasn't on the list at all. In fact, I was of the opinion that there was a high likelihood that I would not clone anything on Silent, or at least not this run, unless I got an early adrenaline, right? Something like that. But that was not the case. So we're going to start off with a transform. I thought about upgrading, maybe neutralize here, but I was like, we're so early. We don't really need that upgrade quite yet. It's great. It's helpful. But let's see what we get. And we get Grand Finale, which is literally useless. I cannot ever get that card to work because, at least not for the next few runs without some deck manipulation and draw. Because I have 15 cards, which sounds like it should work. But Silent draws 7 cards on turn 1. So literally you can never play Grand Finale if you get it as one of your first cards here. Unless you add 3 cards and hopefully one of them is Well-Laid Plans. And in fact, in that case, you have to add 3 cards for it to work. Otherwise, again, you'll never get to the point where you have 0 cards in draw. Because there you go. There was 3 right there. So kind of annoying to get that. We do get a backflip, so I'm like, okay, maybe I can use backflip. I'm also thinking about Dagger Spray because we've got prep time, but it's just, you know what? If we're gonna have Grand Finale, let's at least try to get it to work, I guess. We get the self-help book, and we do have power. We could put the Swift on prep time, but because that power doesn't do anything for this particular turn, it waits to the next turn. It doesn't seem that important, and instead, backflip I'm always going to play, almost always anyway, so it seemed like a good choice. Now we immediately get another option to transform or gain 5 max, and I'm like, you know what? No, let's get rid of Grand Finale, which is truly a curse. And we get Pinpoint and Corrosive Wave. Now, I've not actually played with Corrosive Wave yet, and in fact, at first, I thought it was a power. It didn't connect in my brain that this was a skill. And it seemed, at first when I realized it was a skill in one of the upcoming combats, I was like, is it really that good? I don't know. Now, I avoid the cheese because I figured we could get exactly this, prepared and acro, which are cards. And we do. So we've got some card draw all of a sudden. We've got Corrosive Wave. And I'm feeling like, okay, maybe we're starting to head towards a build. Now, prepared on its own, honestly, not that great. When it's just 1. But it does work well with Pinpoint, another reason to take it, because it allows me to play Pinpoint and other cards. Again, some mistakes were made here already where maybe I should have played Survivor. It didn't matter because I was already full blocking, but those are the things that you need to be thinking about with that card. This is where I realized, like, oh, it's a skill. It's not a power. I guess we don't play that here. And instead, we're just going to full block. And get through this fight fairly easily. This is one of those fights where with the slimes, you can try to rush it, and then I think you end up taking more damage if you do that. Whereas if you just kind of take your time a little bit, you can slowly get these guys down. Especially this is where a card like the prep time really helps because your attacks they do a little bit more damage than otherwise. And we get to try Corrosive Wave for the first time here with a couple of draw cards. So we get a attack potion and then our first slide card. We take Untouchable because it's amazing, especially when you have a decent amount of cards for draw and discard. So for sure here we want to upgrade the Prepared to Prepared Plus, and now that card has gotten significantly better. It has made Corrosive Wave better, and it helps with Pinpoint more frequently. So like all around a great pick. In the chest we get a Vambrace where it doubles the block for the first time you play block in a turn. And while great, I think I make the mistake here of playing it on the slide card. I'm like, oh, I should have waited. And now I risk taking some damage here. But actually not really that bad. I think we more or less full block with the cards that we've got. Oh, wait, no, I played that wrong. Mistakes everywhere. But yeah, I think Frog Parasite with Corrosive Wave, I'm hopeful we can get this to work. And I specifically didn't want to pop them there. Not that I could have anyway, but I wanted to try to pop them on a turn where I could do more damage to one of the upcoming Wrigglers that come out of here. So, yeah, he's going to go down before we take a big 4x4 hit, so that works out fine. And try to aggro through the deck a little bit to get closer to our good cards. The Wriggler is not that scary in this particular fight because we're heavy on the block and we've got some discards so we can avoid taking damage from the infections. So the move is just to get the one guy down to 6 so he can be killed with a strike if we were to get a strike. And unfortunately, we don't get a whole lot of help here. Again, mistakes made with Pinpoint. I should have played 2 more defense and could have done better there. Instead, I'm considering, do I attack pot and try to get rid of 1 more? We do get some good card options here. I don't know if Murder works. I think it does, but it wouldn't do that much damage, even though it's 0 cost. But Pounce lets me full block, so that's going to be what we go with. And it also... oh, no, I thought it took another guy down to 6. It does not. It takes it down to 8. We're going to get some more infections here. Phobia cards for... I have not tried... I should try... I keep talking about it. I should try the Phobia build. Well, not build. Setting. I guess it's not a build. Unfortunately, we are going to take 8 here from the Wrigglers. I feel like if I played this a little bit better, we probably would have taken a bit less. And in this case, I think that's the last of the damage we have to worry about taking, thanks to that backflip, which lets us also play for the first time Corrosive Wave and do some damage. Well, not the first time, second time. First time on the Wrigglers. We get a Book of Rings, which is kind of good. And I know I got offered a Prepared and an Acro there, but I was feeling kind of weak on the block and the weak. So Leg Sweep was both pick and an immediate upgrade for me. Although you could have argued for Acro. The thing is, this is where we've talked about this in some prior videos. You really can't force a build. You've got to be careful when you're trying to force a build. And sometimes just let it happen over time. And this is a good case where look, I could have taken another Acro, but being able to have a big block card when you don't draw the cards that you're hoping to draw is kind of nice, as we have here. So, it's until we have the build, we don't have the build. And it's important to recognize that and not set yourself up to lose before we ever get to execute the build. And with a little bit of patience, and here you can see we are able to do everything in this particular turn. Full block and play Pinpoint and play everything that we wanted to play, Corrosive Wave, etc. And that's a good, hey, this is how this build can work type of scenario right there. Now at this point, Clone is the furthest thing from my mind. I'm just like, oh, this is cool. Yeah, Prepared seems good, right? Maybe we just stay Prepared. Card remove seems really good. If we can get rid of more strikes, we're able to use Prepared more. So there's a lot of options to consider here, and I opt for that. I opt for getting rid of the strike. Again, Prepared might have been a better choice. I don't know. Maybe. It's hard to say. Smaller deck, though, is going to let us get to the cards that we want to play more frequently. Anyway, we're up against Birdanis here, and we get to start playing Corrosive Wave again for the first time, really. And a lot of choices to be made here of damage versus surviving and blocking enough, because Bridanis is a pretty tough fight. He's probably, now that some of the other elites have been nerfed a little bit, he's probably one of the hard ones, I would say. And, you know, this is unfortunately a fight where my discard cards are not lining up really well with the other cards that I want to play with them, as we see here. So, like, I could Corrosive Wave, but then I'm taking a whole bunch. So instead, we're going to leg sweep, and we're going to go the pinpoint route. So again, having that deck flexibility early on, really nice. But overall, Bridanis is a pretty straightforward fight. You know what to expect with him. He's going to do a lot of damage, slowly scale, and you just got to burn him down before he can outscale you in your block ability, which we're able to do here pretty effectively thanks to cards like Untouchable and yeah, Sucker Punch, and all are weak. So this, I think that's what makes Silence so strong, is she has block paired with weak, and that just kills everything, right? It not only does it kill everything, because we get one of our first eggs, by the way. Well, first eggs, I think we only get the one egg, but regardless, very good egg to get. So yeah, when you pair good defense to begin with and weak, you just get some cards that can do enough damage to scale, and you're good to go. Like, that's why Poison is so strong. And she works really well with, you know, any sort of tuning fork where you're playing a lot of skills, or the Ripple Basin, or whatever that thing's called, where you get 4 block if you don't play any particular, or you don't play any attacks. There's, you know, Art of War, is that in this game? I don't even know if that's in this game, actually. So anyway, we're up against the this giant antlered beast whose name I can't remember. Ceremonial Beast, I think. Something like, yeah, there you go. There it is. And this time we remember not to play the Vambrace until this turn, which is good. Probably should have played that Strength Pot earlier. It's all good. It happens. And we're able to full block pretty easily on turn 2. And we start getting our poison down. So that's obviously where these longer fights are where Corrosive Wave is going to really do its job, which is kind of nice. And once again, with just so much weak in this deck, we shouldn't have too much trouble with this guy. Now, Corrosive Wave, if we draw well, is definitely scaling, right? Like, Pinpoint's great and all that, but Corrosive Wave's going to be our scaling. I should mention, I did pick up a Dying Roll Plus. That's nice because of Vambrace. That was the thought process in taking that card, where blocking for 12 for 2 turns in a row, if it's in the first card, in the first draw that I have, seemed pretty good. And again, I did not know what build we were doing still at this point. I was trying to feel out, like, hey, does Corrosive Wave actually work? I don't know. I don't know until I start getting into it, because I've never tried it. And I didn't even remember at this point that the card Speedster exists, which it does, and we will see it later. Again, you probably saw it on the thumbnail already. Maybe. Was it on the thumbnail? No, I don't think it was. Okay, maybe that was a spoiler. This was a disappointing find, by the way. I played Survivor, which was still the best card to play, and tried to discard and play a Sly card, but Ringing stops that. So, good to know when you're fighting Ceremonial Beasts that you can't actually use Sly cards if you've got Ringing. So make sure you play your best block card in that particular case. Again, we're able to play Pinpoint thanks to cards like Prepared, which let us play both expensive cards and also still play Pinpoint. So it's kind of nice. And we're at Act 1. 15 minutes, not too bad. First card that we're going to add, we get Nightmare, Shadow Step, and Burst Plus. Now, I thought about Nightmare, and thinking about it now, maybe it's better, especially without Clone. But I end up taking Burst Plus, and I'm thinking about Burst because of, you know, I could burst Corrosive Wave, I could burst Acrobatics, and because I only have 1 Acrobatics, it seemed good. I could burst Prepared, of course. But here's where it starts. Here's where I start realizing, wait a second. Prepared is gross if we put Clone on it, and we can actually clone it a few times. Like, Acro, interesting, but guess what? It doesn't cost any energy. Prepared Plus. I also thought about the drawing one additional card, and I was wondering, is there a way that that works with Corrosive Wave? But no, because it would happen before you ever play the card. So yeah, clone is what we do, and if I can ever find Prepared in my deck here we go. We're gonna go for it, and yeah, I think the fun starts in this act. It gets crazy at the end, but it starts here. Normally, I would edit out some of this like mapping that I do, but I figure it's kind of important to show the rest sites that we're going to go after. Funny interaction here, by the way. For some reason, I didn't realize that Exoskeleton works against poison. In my head, it shouldn't, right? Like, why would Exoskeleton help with poison? But it does block, as far as I know, all damage except for Doom. So because it doesn't work on Doom, again, I was like, wow, surely poison will work. But no, it does. It actually stops the poison, which throws me off as I was like, oh yeah, they're all dead. Look, I got Corrosive Wave. If I can aggro into Prepared Plus, this should be good. We can do a bunch of damage to everything. Although, maybe we already drew Prepared Plus, I'm not sure. Yeah, we did. So, I don't have a whole lot. But we could get Untouchable, which we don't. So, because of that, we're going to take some damage. I decided to go for the Explosive Pot as well. And we're already doing max damage on these guys. But, yeah, unfortunately for us, we can't do more than 9 poison on them anyway. We get a Mazaleth's Gift, which is not really that useful because we're not playing any attacks anymore, or very few. We get the Bug Slayer event, so either Exterminate or Squash. I figure with Vigor, well, you might as well take the Exterminate. And we get heal out of that thanks to the Book of Five Rings. So while I haven't liked Book of Five Rings, or I didn't immediately like it, I gotta say, I like it now more. It is definitely better than I gave it credit for. And especially with how often I feel like I need to heal, it's good. It's a good card. So I recommend you take it if you're struggling to get through things, because not only do you take more cards than you think, it's nice randomly getting heals after fights or other events. So there might be events or shops that can heal you. It ends up being very flexible in what it does for you. Anyway, we get this guy where we can start using Corrosive Wave a bit, and he takes Pinpoint, which is, at this point, I'm already wondering, like, do I want that back? Now that I've got Clone on my Prepared, is that something that I care to have back? And the answer is, I don't know if I do. So, yeah, I think we're going to not take that card back and slim our deck down a little bit by way of not taking it back. So, get a Fish Oil Potion, and we get another Prepared Plus. Haze is interesting. It's sly, it's poison, but it's redundant. And it can also clog our hand potentially with a card that is expensive if we don't have any discard. Now we get offered another Corrosive Wave that I can't buy. But more importantly, we get Well-Laid Plans. And that, my friends, is key to this puzzle of being able to hold Corrosive Wave in particular, or something else, which is good because right now I don't have a whole lot of draw cards. I have a couple of Prepared Pluses, which is good, and an Acro, and a couple of Backflips. All good, all important. So ideally, I can play Corrosive Wave with them, and if I don't have Corrosive Wave yet, I can hold on to one of the drawing cards, obviously. So yeah, Well-Laid Plans, fantastic. I don't even care about upgrading it. I'm more interested in just, there we go, Exterminate, doing some work with Vigor, which is nice. I'm more interested in just being able to hold one card. Now this guy, I totally forgot. I always forget this guy's mechanic of every time you play a card, you lose 1 strength and 1 dex. So you want to play your powers last and play your block cards first. And we're going to do that, I think. We're going to remember to do that this time. Hopefully. Hopefully. Yep. Oh, wait. Oh, maybe we can. Or we can well-laid plans. Now, I didn't really want to take any damage, so ended up skipping the well-laid plans and going for the damage in the weak, which I think was the right call. Again, this is where we've just got patient, and now we can get the well-laid plans down. But we're not going to full block, but we do have a neutralize, so we can. Oh yeah, I forgot. When you burst, you got to play it twice. We're not worried about the damage we're doing there. We just want to weaken him and take as little as possible. So here we go. There's our first retain a corrosive wave, and this is exactly how we want it to work. So we can corrosive wave, acro, sly, and then also get some more block from backflip, which hopefully gets us to a prepared plus, which it does not. It doesn't do it. But we immediately got back to corrosive wave. So guess what? We get to play it again if we want. However, I'm also thinking like, 28 damage from Exterminate seems good, but ultimately opt to go with the corrosive wave route because, again, we had almost guaranteed 1, if not 2, discard cards. And with Burst, we get the double Acro, which is going to put the poison on very strongly, and double prepared, which is just, yeah, amazing here. So I'm not sure we get the kill this turn, but it gets us pretty close. And you can start to see the power of Corrosive Wave. And I'm pretty happy with how it's functioning. At this point, I'm like, we could take a little bit of damage. It's not a huge amount. And I'm not really worried because I think this is just one of the harder guys in Act 2 to go up against with our build. And while Leg Sweep Plus is good and Snakebite Plus seems good, this is not how we're winning. We're starting to see the archetype come together. And that's just going to add another card that we've got to get through. So here we go with another example of being blocked by damage. This is where it actually hits us hard. Very unfortunate. I was really hoping to acro into a prepared plus. Turns out it doesn't matter. It turns out that, this is the problem where I kept looking at the bar going like a second. Why are they not dead? They have more poison, or they're about to have more poison than their health bar allows for. They should be dead, right? No, they're not dead. Again, gotta remember this stupid exoskeleton. Why does it work with Doom and not poison? Someone tell me. It just doesn't make sense. I don't get it. But anyway, we're going to get out of this fight without too much headache. This is, I think, if I'm doing the math, 9 plus 6 should get me a kill on one of the 15ers. I don't know if I realized that quickly enough. It also, I can get a kill on the guy that's buffing as well, since Sucker Punch does a little bit more. Why I hit that guy, I don't know. Again, I was thinking that this is where I'm looking at it. I'm like, wait a second. So I didn't realize it in the first fight. I realized it in this fight. And I'm like, this sucks. Oh, I didn't actually realize it yet. Here's where I'm like, let's see what happens. And we almost full block, but I was very upset about this. I was very upset. Anyway, at this point, the fight is as good as over, and we can move on to the next one. So we're pretty good, though. We've got 2 potions, offered a Clarity Extract, which I think is going to be better than Fish Oil, because we're blocking pretty well for the most part. We get an Envenom, which is useless. Blade Dance also just it's Hand Clog that exhausts, but Anticipate seems kind of interesting. 0 cost. I don't play it enough. This is another chance to get some practice with it. And if I need the dex, it's there, right? And I can almost always get to more block cards now that I'm set up. But we're going to clone, and we get our first prepared plus. And we've got a nice path here. Oh, we get the Lucky Fish, which, if you didn't know, works with clone. So we just got a heal, and we just got 30 gold. Not bad. Not bad. So we go up against this guy that brings the, what is it, ethereal, I don't know what, beast thing like that. Actually, kind of a scary fight. The Obscura. Yeah, that's an Obscura name. It's one of those summonings that if you kill it, it comes back immediately the next turn, which is kind of annoying. But we're pretty well set at this point to block, but we're not getting a good draw yet for playing the cards that we want to play to win this type of fight. We do finally get well-laid plans, but the problem is now we're out of energy. So I just have to try to cycle back through the deck as quickly as possible to either get to well-laid plans again or to corrosive wave. But we'll eventually get there, as you can imagine. Now, this fight can be tough. It's a nice little damage check more than block check, I'd say, because you can either burst down the guy in the back, which 123 life is nothing to sneeze at, or can you do 21 in a turn consistently? And the fact is, no, we can't. And this is actually kind of a tough fight. We take some more damage here, but again, because of the 5 rings, we're going to heal at the next campfire by cloning. We have 1 of 5 already entered into the book, and if we can get another 4, we heal 20. So taking some damage here, not really that bad. And eventually, I'm sure we'll get the card combo we need for this to work. Again, well-laid plan shows up. I'm like, I guess we're not doing that. And I can't even play, any of the cards that I want to play. But Panache helps get us through the fight without taking much more damage. And here we see the power of Prepared Plus cloned. Oh, I love it. Now the only problem with Prepared is eventually, if you don't have other cards like Tactician or Reflex, you run out of juice. So there's it's not infinite. It looks like it could be infinite. There we go. We get the money. We get the heal, and we might as well go to a shop even at this point. And I'm starting to feel pretty good. So again, this is where we can start preparing. There's the dodge and roll that does 12 and 12, by the way. And I don't want to play any one-cost cards yet, because I'm hopeful that I can prepare into the what's it called? One of the cards that I need, Corrosive Wave or Well-Laid Plans. So this is fine. We can then prepare it into Corrosive Wave. And this is exactly how we're going to set stuff up through the rest of the game. Now, I don't know why I'm thinking so hard about this particular turn, because it doesn't matter. We should, at this point, be able to take everything out pretty easily, thanks to Corrosive Wave and just a few prepareds. And again, Untouchable works really well with this. Other slide cards work really well with this. I didn't get many other slide cards offered. And there you go. There's the acro that just keeps us going in the meantime while we wait for better cards. That takes us through the fight. Killed them. Love it. That was easy. So offered a few more cards like Hand Trick and Flick Flack. They're just not what we need and not how we do damage. So they're noise and they slow the deck down. Now here we see a Snecko Skull, which I almost clicked on immediately. And then I realized, oh, there's a Reflex Plus. And that is frankly 1,000 times better and lets me remove a card. That is by far better than Snecko Skull, because it gets us close to being infinite. And here we go from 30 gold to 150 and the full heal. And we're set up for the next card we take heals us again, if we take another card. Not bad. We go up against Crabman. This is an interesting fight. It takes cues from the Elite fight from Spire 1, where you have to turn left and right. I think it's the only one like this in the game that makes you turn. And again, I'm just kind of trying to get through my cards. I unfortunately went too far. I should not have played that last prepared. That was definitely a mistake. And now I'm thinking oh, do I use a potion? I might as well wait till next turn. So we're not taking any damage here. But this guy scales up pretty quickly, and that can be scary. So now the goal is to, we got to turn around and face the right way. And there's the first hit of Reflex, which is really nice. The question is, can we get back through the deck in time to Corrosive? Because the deck size, if you haven't noticed, has ballooned very quickly to 40 cards. And a lot of them are prepared, which is great, but prepared runs out. So now I have a bunch of prepareds. I have one acro, some backflips, and you can see that with one reflex, we're just not going to be able to play it frequently enough where it's like an infinite setup. So with that, I opt for keeping on the burst. We haven't done any damage yet. Now I'm like, uh-oh, did I make a mistake? Is this not going to be a YouTube video? Genuinely concerned. I'm like, all right, calm down. We got some time to figure out where we want to go. I realize I'm never bursting here on prepared. So yeah, we're just going to block for as much as we can and be very careful to not pass by Corrosive Wave, because that's clearly how we're going to win this. And here's where I'm like, okay, this is the Clarity Extract turn for sure. And you know, we can do a little bit of work here, but we can also full block, turn, weaken. Well, not full block. We can block for a lot, turn and weaken him, and then we can try to set up for the next turn. And I think at this point, I feel much more confident just because we've got well-laid plans down. But we do need to get to that card, Corrosive Wave, desperately. Here we go. We get some double sly in a row. You can see Reflex really refilling the hand kind of nicely here. And it'd be really nice if Corrosive Wave had already been played so we can get the damage going. But there it is. There it is. So we're not going to block for any more than that, but we do have Corrosive Wave, and we can start doing some work here. Now, the only problem is we played Corrosive Wave. We do get a backflip, which is nice. We want to turn, though. And we're limited on how many prepareds we're going to get to play unless we get that reflex right quick. But being able to hold acro seems important as well. So we'll burn down just as far as we can. We do get the one reflex. And now you can see the power of Corrosive Wave. I'm not sure why I got rid of Corrosive Wave there. I should have gone to that. But I thought that I had just so much damage flowing that we'd be okay. We're not. We're going to take damage, and we're not going to kill them in a single turn. So scary stuff all of a sudden where I'm like, maybe that was not the way to do this. But we have so much card draw that realistically, we should be able to get back to Corrosive Wave somewhat quickly. Although there's not a whole lot of cards exhausted, and by not a whole lot of cards exhausted, there have been no cards exhausted. So we're just going to have to get through as much draw as we can here and hope that we get back to our damage. Or enough block to get us through the number of turns left, which is minimally 3. We're doing 56 damage per turn, and they've got over 100 health each. So I think we're, at this point, I'm thinking we're probably fine. I think next turn he charges up again. So we're just going to try to play through as quickly as we can to get close to those cards again. And that's going to be it. If I play this last prepared, we might throw it away. So we're not going to do it. And then we just have to do a little bit of damage here. Here it is. All right, so we're good. We're good. We got Reflex and Acro. This is how the deck works. I love it. Now there's a little bit of artwork here in terms of piloting the deck, in making sure that you're playing a mix of cards that bring more cards, until we can get to a point where we either get more reflexes or acrobatics or adrenalines or whatever it may be. But yeah, at this point, they're dead. I'm just kind of like seeing how far does it go, because I haven't played it through yet. And I'm like, oh wow, this is quite good. And there's the next Corrosive Wave, which doesn't matter. Obviously, they're dead. We get through it. A little bit of damage taken. We're offered Adrenaline Plus, which is an insta-pick. We get our heal. We get our heal again. And we're offered Curse Spell, Pandora's Box, or Dusty Tome. And immediately I'm like, I've not taken this card yet. This beautiful full art card, which is super cool looking, by the way. And I realized, like, oh, guess what? If I take that card, I never take damage again, because how many fights are going more than 3 turns? Not many, I would say. And Pandora's Box, while like kind of interesting, and we could get good cards. Could just put a bunch of junk in our deck that does not help. So like the defense are actually fine. I play them sometimes. They work with Vambrace, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't think that's what we want. So what we do want is a path to more rest sites. That's going to be a beautiful thing for us. And I also want to take question marks to see if we get any opportunity to remove cards. Why I played anything before Corrosive Wave, I'm not sure. Or did I just draw Corrosive Wave? Maybe I just drew it. Because we're up to the Biting Scrolls that take your max health. And talk about a joke of a fight if you get the card that does all your damage on turn 1. They're already dead. They didn't have a chance here. Amazing. That's the other thing. If I could get Corrosive Wave to be automatically played when you have that event that lets you pick, is it steady? You get to play a skill turn 1 every fight. You get to pick what it is. Reflex Plus, we get number 2. Oh, it's amazing. The Toxic Egg. Toxic Egg is the best relic we can get, by the way. So now we've got 2 reflexes. And with the amount of prepareds we have, I think we're actually close to infinite. I don't think we're infinite proper. Not yet. But like we have a good chance of being able to cycle through the entire deck a couple of times before we run out of stuff to play. And like even now, I'm like, you know what? We could just keep playing prepareds. So there's the Wraith form, by the way. I think there's another reflex in the deck. So this shows you exactly how far we can get. And there you go. We get the adrenaline too. So not only do we speed up with being able to play things like acrobatics again and the well-laid plans. Yeah, we're just cruising through it. So this is turn 1. And you can see where the deck starts to peter out a little bit here. Oh, wait, we got that reflex. So, but we don't have any more energy, so we would have to draw another reflex. Or we can just keep our aggro. And I do get to play prepared one more time to try to get a reflex. So yeah, I mean, 100 damage turn 1. Cultist never gets to attack us. Not bad. Not bad. Now I could keep going forever here to see how far we can take it, but I'm like, you know what? This video is already going to be long. let's keep going. Now we get expertise, which is interesting, but not really useful because it costs energy, and another backflip plus, which also interesting, but already it would just be junk in the deck. Now drawing 2 fewer cards at the start of combat seems terrible, so we're going to just lose 15, and I'll take 3 upgrades. So why not? We get backflip, well-laid plans, and of course a strike that I'm going to remove because that's how it goes. Now we do get the option for another well-laid plans. I don't think we need that, especially after getting well-laid plans plus. And you can see how infrequently we're holding multiple cards at the end anyway. So thinking ahead though is draw, and it lets us set up a little bit differently. I'm not sure it was worth the gold. But we are going to take it here. We're going to try it. And the fact is we have a lot of gold now with every time we clone. So it's fine to get rid of, to take it. We are going to get rid of that strike though. I'm sorry, it got a plus on it. And thinking ahead seems good too. Let's try it. Let's see how it goes. Maybe I'll regret it, maybe not. Might as well take a gambling potion too, because that'll solve any problems of a dead draw in the random unlikely scenario and possibility. But it could happen. And we get it. We get the Corrosive Wave turn 1 again. Against this time 4 of the Scrolls of Death. Unfortunately, like, we immediately start losing cards because we're only drawing prepared. And that is the risk here, right? So we could leg sweep, but if I do a little bit of math here, Exterminate gets us pretty close, but not close enough. So we're actually better off just continuing to do prepared tricks and getting some block and weaken down. With Vambrace, we full block, easy peasy, and I'm actually surprised we went to a second turn here, but they're dead. So hopefully I don't try to play through a full cycle again to get back to it. We're offered a Deadly Poison Plus, no thank you. And let's see how we do against an elite. It is the Tri-Elites, the ethereal warriors. I don't know if there's a name for these guys. I know they each have a name, but this is the first time I get to consider playing Wraith form and just like taking no damage in a fight. Of course, I totally forgot that if you play Wraith form, you still need to block for something or you take damage. Not that it matters, but like that was like, we do take 2. Maybe we could go and take nothing. So we try. I'm not sure we get to take nothing though, because eventually I'm gonna run out of stuff. Actually, neutralize should get us there. Neutralize should do the trick first. So if we neutralize the 15, yeah, we're. Oh wait, we are full blocking. I was gonna say we played Survivor. So next up, we're gonna get hexed, and that means that all of our cards are ethereal, which is funny because the only cards that we want to play cost 0 anyway, outside of Corrosive Wave. So as long as we have enough energy for that, it doesn't matter at all, and we can start blasting out some poison damage to everybody here. We're blessed with Adrenaline Plus again, into an Acro, into a Reflex. It's insane. Oh, it's so good. I mean, maybe we didn't need Wraith form at all. Maybe I was overreacting here when I took that. I'm like, oh, we're going to need this to survive. No, doesn't matter at all. These guys are hosed. Already, like, if I full block here, they can't kill us and they're all dead. But because we're drawing so much, and you see these reflexes starting to do work, we just full block. I don't think I haven't even exhausted a card yet because we're on turn 2. Yeah, incredible. We start hitting those reflexes more consistently, and that's it. We have done the damage. Play one more for measure, I guess. See ya. Oh no, I lost my cards. We get a prayer wheel, which is comical. Another reflex. All right, number 3, definitely taking that. I don't think there's ever a time where there's too many reflexes. Maybe like 10 is too many reflexes, but otherwise I should always have her prepared. Get a rainbow ring, which doesn't matter at all. We don't care. And at this point I'm thinking, like, do I clone again or do I take a fight? And I'm wondering if, like, maybe there's a limit to how much we want to clone. I'm already pulling prepareds constantly. And the problem with prepareds is how long it might take us to get to a Corrosive Wave. So, I'm sorry, we don't clone. This isn't Perfected Strike where we want the highest damage possible. We want a reasonable number of prepared pluses that are balanced with reflex, which allows us to basically be infinite if we do that. Now, of course, we can still have poor draws over time and never get there. We'll give it a shot, obviously, as best we can. But you can see right here, like, rare case where we're burning down. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? Maybe we just hold on to the Acro, and yeah, that's it. We burned it down all the way. Kind of crazy. Now, if I played another prepared, I might have gotten another reflex. And in fact, no, I wouldn't have here. We would have just run out of cards. So it was fine. And this turn we get into Adrenaline. But this is where it's like, okay, now it's going to take a little while to get back to Corrosive Wave. And I don't have like a hologram-esque card that lets me take a card back. I was really curious how these slimes were going to work with us. It ended up being fine, though, because we have so many other cards that just discard. So, like, even if I draw 2 at once, I'm like, yeah, that's actually good, because I got to get rid of something. Here's our chance to play Wraith form. We're going to do it? We do it? Yeah, why not? I think that's the first time we played it, right? I don't even know how Wraith form works in this game. I didn't even realize. Like, I don't think I read the card. And even thinking about it now, I'm not even sure. Do we lose dexterity? We'll find out if we go to another turn here, which seems likely at this point, because we only have 1 energy. But I don't know the answer to that. Yeah, so we're going to end turn. We'll keep the backflip. And all we got to do is get back to Corrosive Wave. There it is. And this fight is as good as over as well, because this guy's not even attacking us. Is he out of his mind? Does he know? Does he know who he's facing? He is clearly not prepared. Ha. All right, you're welcome for that dad joke. Okay, well, let's just enjoy the scene here for a moment as we go crazy with prepares. Oh, we didn't get the kill. Are you kidding me? I thought for sure that was going to take us all the way through. So still, we're not like quite infinite, but again, it doesn't matter at this point. If you're doing over 100 damage of poison in a turn, even the end bosses are dead after a couple of turns. So all you got to do is survive, and with Wraith form, no problem. All right, we're offered Speedster. This is the card I was talking about that I forgot existed. And at first I was going to say no. And then I realized, like, actually, that gives us another way to do damage while we wait for Corrosive to get back to the front of the line here. So we might as well try it, see what happens. Yeah, so wild turn here where we almost didn't get it prepared. I was like, what? Is that even possible? There's the Wraith form. Maybe a good fight. Oh, we didn't even pay attention if it took dexterity or not. Oh, you do? Okay, I'm reading it this time. We do lose a dexterity. This seems like a good guy to play it against. In my mind, there's a chance that we face the super attack in a couple of turns. Mainly because he starts with 3 artifact charges. But I didn't even realize how quickly we chewed through those artifact charges. And he's already down to 250, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. And yeah, we're in good shape here. Doing some math. Can I double reflect or reflex? No reason to do that. Oh, play Speedster. What are you doing? We get the Speedster down. We do miss out on a couple there by doing that. And yeah, this is where we get to see the power of Speedster as compared to Corrosive Wave. I gotta say, Speedster, definitely not as good. It is good, but it's not as good, obviously, because it's just not poison damage. But I think it's good enough to kill. I mean, maybe even from here with the number of reflex that we have. This is amazing. This is like... It's a lot of work. If you're going to get Carpal Tunnel, this is definitely the type of deck that's going to give it to you. So, like, I suppose that's a consideration if playing this deck, whether or not you want to go through with it. But overall, I mean, yeah, it's good. So I think, oh, this is interesting. I actually get rid of Corrosive Wave. I probably shouldn't have, but I'm also wondering if I can just kill him from here. And we're starting to get close. We get back to another reflex through the reshuffle. And it's looking like there's a possibility. Has he even given us the burns yet? No, he's about to give us the burns. We need one more reflex. We don't get it. Dang it. Oh, we do! Nice. I don't think we'll get another one, though, to keep us going. But that's okay. Overall, this is, I would say, a good turn. And shows that Speedster, also strong. And in fact, we get all the way back to Corrosive Wave after we had already discarded it in a 45 card deck. And the burns, honestly, zero problem. Like, at all. He's dead. He's already dead. So we didn't even get to the big attack. That's how strong this deck has gotten. Actually insane. Now, I'm debating, like, I could have ended turn, but I'm just wondering, can Speedster get us to the end here? Now, okay, I take back what I said. I said the poison is better. However, Speedster is a power. So there's that. And that is definitely... Maybe it's even changing my mind from... Maybe it is better than Corrosive Wave. Because you can initiate this at any time. So we get a Speedster Plus... And I'm like, I don't know. We have so many cards. Do I really need another one? And I think the answer is yes. Of course. Very nice. Also gives us some money. So I figure, well, we might as well go to the shop and remove a card. That's got to be more worth than doubling prepared again, right? And we got some options here. You know, I'm like, none of this is very exciting. I'm like, do I want a second prep time? Probably not. My potions are good, actually. So best option here is to remove a card. And prep time is probably the best card to remove. Arguably defend was better because prep time can be played and go away. But I don't think it matters, frankly. All right, we go up against the giant eyeball guy, the Soul Nexus. Another typically scary fight. We have a decent turn 1 lined up, though. The problem is we have not gotten to any of our cards that actually do damage. I mean, just neutralize those damage. But there we go. We get Corrosive Wave with a Reflex. So we're going to be able to play it along with a whole bunch of other cards. But if we do, we can't block. So what are we going to do? Well, I'll have you know that we have ways of healing. And at this point, I'm like, you know, let's just start doing damage. We do miss the well-laid plans. I'm not sure I care at this point because now with Speedster, if I can hit it at any point. And I already did play 1, so it doesn't even matter. And we are going to play Thinking Ahead, which is going to empty our hand. And we're going to take damage for the first time. Oh, wait, no, we might as well use the energy pot, I guess. I don't know if that was a good move. Maybe the energy pot would have been better for the final boss. But I also didn't know what was about to happen. That's right. Something is about to happen. Now we get the adrenaline here. That gets us into Wraith form. And now we're guaranteed to get through this fight without taking any more damage. Speedster's still doing work while we're waiting on Corrosive Wave to come back. So, you know, at first I really discounted the effectiveness of Speedster. Now, I probably should have played Corrosive Wave there. It would have been maybe a little bit faster. But are we really here for speed? I don't know. I don't think so. I think at this point we're here for the memes. So let's just see how many cards we can play. The answer, a lot. We are, once again, you're kind of seeing like the faux infinite we have going here. We get very close, but without a reflex, we don't quite get there. Anyway, this fight is over. And we do get the reflex. We would have gotten the reflex if I played that last prepared, by the way. That's what I was pointing out there. And not that it mattered, but the turn would have ended 1 turn sooner. And now you gotta wait for me to kill it via Speedster. We get a piece of fruit to go with our egg. So we've got a full breakfast. And we get a natural prepared plus. We can take that. And here's the mirror. I actually was thinking about like, this seems crazy. But we've come so far. Is there really a way we can lose with double these cards? Like, bad luck is really scary and has killed me before when taking this event. So I am genuinely thinking through, do I want to risk this entire run with as far as I've gotten? And then I realized, like, you know what? 2 Corrosive Waves? 4 Speedsters? 40 Prepare Pluses? That's right, it's more now. And Lucky Fish just, you know, amping it up. We've come this far. I mean, what's another 40 prepares between friends? So much for balance, huh? All right, let's see how the door maker holds up to this. I was very curious how long it was going to take to get to good cards. Then I'm like, oh, wait, I got 2 adrenalines. Other realizations come into play here, by the way. One of which is I have multiple Wraith forms and Thinking Ahead, which, by the way, I should have used right there to put Corrosive Wave on top instead of what I do here. But we get another Speedster. So now we have 2 Speedster played. And we're doing infinite damage to this guy who can take infinite damage, the door. And there we go. Well-laid plans put you on top. I think that ended up being better in hindsight than the Corrosive Wave. So, yeah, all my cards, by the way, are ethereal right now on this turn. I'm like, oh, this is fine. I have 125 cards. I can exhaust pretty much everything. And I think, I didn't know this, by the way, but Slide does exhaust the card because you are playing it. But wait a sec, no, it doesn't. It just went into the discard pile instead of exhaust. I'm actually not sure. I'm genuinely not sure now. Okay, so there's only one problem with this fight. Is Wraith Form. Do I keep Wraith Form or do we play Corrosive Wave? Oh, but I want to play Corrosive Wave so bad. And I have to discard something. Otherwise, I could have held on to 2. So we're going to end turn here. We're going to full block just barely. And this turn kills me. Not really. Doesn't actually. But I do not realize what this guy's power does right away. And I just discard cards. And I'm like, wait a second. This turn sucks. This guy just totally countered my entire deck. What the heck? So now I'm like, okay, we gotta kill him before that happens again. And thankfully we have a million cards to go through. So I don't think that's gonna be a problem. But we surprisingly don't get to play Corrosive Wave this fight at all. That's kind of wild. We do get to do Speedster up to 8, which is kind of cool. And now we're back to exhausting stuff, which is totally fine. All right, Refect. Yeah, it goes into the discard. I don't think it actually exhausts. That's interesting. But it gets played, doesn't it? Very odd. Okay, so that mechanic seems wonky. I wonder if that's correct. I wonder if it should exhaust. We'll have to look into that. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and let you enjoy the final moments of the Doormaker. GG. No Corrosive Wave. Incredible end to that fight. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun playing it. We had Clone, Mirror, Lucky Fish, Book of 5 Ring synergies. What a run. I'm not sure I'll be able to repeat that one anytime soon. Give it a try. Let me know how it goes for you, and I'll see you in the next one.